Hey everyone, it's March the 3rd, 2022. This is David Nguyen, your Sophos product manager here at Blue Chip Infotech. Hi everyone. Hi. Oh, Georgie's got a hi everyone there, so I'm so glad. It's raining for like the fourth week now. It's a bit insane to be honest. I can't even remember when it didn't start raining, and we got some crazy things going on inside of the other side of the world. Russia and Ukraine have a situation, and cybersecurity is all amok. If it's a little bit of a insane time, isn't it? For some reason, we've got this other side of the world event happening, but cybersecurity is going a little bit haywire. We've got a webinar tomorrow on March the 4th. If you guys wanted to listen into that, get some cybersecurity tips from Sophos as well. That's always interesting to hear. Just wanted to put out there that there's a questions chat box inside of GoToWebinar. So if you wanted to say hi, if you wanted to get some engagement happening and get some comments, you're more than welcome to. We'll start the webinar in a little bit of time, but I'm just going to put up a poll real quickly while we're all here and just launch it. It's a little quick situation. There's no intelligence behind it, but has the situation in Russia and Ukraine affected you or your clients cybersecurity wise? Oh, we've got a yes there. Not at all. That's good to hear. My heart does go out to every single person that has been affected by the situation, of course. And it's good to see that not many people have been. But for anyone who answered yes or even a little bit, feel free to put a little bit of comment inside of the chat box to the there's a chat box there, just saying what's going on. Has something gone wrong because of that? Because it is in another part of the world, so very very interesting facts, if you know what I mean. And if it's raining, of course, still where you are, tell us. My heart goes out to everyone inside of Queensland who's been affected by floods as well. Oh, one of your developers is missing, Shalvin. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? Is it because they were working over there? I know that there's been some momentum and some movement inside of Kaspersky customers recently. We don't have the official stats or anything. He's in hiding. Oh, that's a bit worrying. I hope he's safe. Or he or she is safe, or they or them. Hope everything is good. But the majority, it looks like, is not at all inside of that progress. He's fine. That's good to hear. That's good to hear, Shalvin. Thank you very much for that. We've got a little bit more time going on as well. But once again, there is a webinar tomorrow, which I will post the link to the chain when I have a little bit of spare time. But it's some tips on cybersecurity from Sophos. So yeah, feel free to use the chat box. We've got a lot of trivia. Yeah, these floods are a war zone, Georgie. We're facing our own little war, So let me just close this poll real quick, because we've got share those that kind of poll, and it's not too bad. Got some yeses there, but I hope everyone is doing fine. So let's hide that and go back to the webinar, and we can start ahead now. We've got with me Mr. Matt Goodman, the senior product manager from Blue Chip Infotech as well. I report to him. He's
Morning, everyone.
Super genius. Yeah. So how you doing, Matt?
They're doing good. Shame we couldn't get the webcams working, but we'll just have to listen to our voices today, and we won't be able to show you a live switch being held in David's hands, but we've got some pictures and stuff, and we've got some. I think we've got some. There's some YouTube videos we're making of some unboxing, so you can actually get a look around on the switches in a video. So that's to come later on. So let's kick it off, Dave.
Definitely. All right, let's do it, Matt. Let's try not to. We'll keep on schedule. There's a lot to cover, including some trivia, some engagement from to play with you guys. There's a lot of things going on. So we have a model comparison. First up and foremost for me, I'll be putting some things on there just to go you in, throw you into the deep end with what we're looking at and what the Sophos switches are and what they complete as a final piece inside of the puzzle for Sophos. There was going to be an unboxing, but unfortunately the webcams and GoToWebinar isn't playing nice with us today. But that's all right, because when we will send out that YouTube video just to see, it's just so you have everything in front of you and you got a hands-on to what's going on in the Sophos switches. After that, Mr. Matt Goodman is going to give you guys a demo of the central management, just to see what's going on inside there and how easy it is to manage the switches, and how the future of managing an entire singular network stack is going to be in your hands. We've got a Q&A for any burning questions, of course, just so that you can get everything that you need out of this webinar. And of course, we have trivia time. I think that's going to be the most fun time, because if you've used Kahoot before or CrownPer like that, it's live trivia with all of us, and we've got leaderboards and got some cool prizes to win, such as Apple AirPods and Amazon gift cards. And if you stay to the very end, there's a lucky draw, a big wheel spin, a lucky draw. So make sure that you stay into the very end. If you get selected, you could win an Apple Watch. All right, so an Apple Watch is up for grabs simply if you stay all the way through with us and just have some fun with us. Okay, I know that Georgie won last time, so Georgie in the chat, we're working on your prize as we speak. So yeah, I'm really happy right there. Okay, well let's move on. We'll get some fun things started. If somehow the webinars come up miraculously from GoToWebinar, I'll just pull out a box and start unboxing, but it's probably not going to be there from now. But let's go through it, ladies and gentlemen. What do you see now and not in the past when you search up a switch on Google? I've got one myself. Your kids have one, or maybe if you guys are gamers, you've probably got a Sophos Switch there. A Nintendo Switch there, but it's broken the internet. You can't find a normal, networking switch these days if you type one in. If you find any recommendations, you've got a whole plethora of some. You can walk into Officeworks and get a switch right now as well. So they're really, really common. So let's try to find out today why Sophos has the best in class for SMB switches and anyone in the 1 to 500 user space. Okay, so that was just a really fun kind of thing that, that comes up. Even at home, even at work, switches are still Nintendo's conglomerate. They've got a hold on it. What can I say? The next thing that I just really wanted to point out is that now the full network stack, Sophos has it all. Sophos has it all finally, and this is probably one of the biggest key selling points when it comes to the Sophos Switch and why it's the final and freshest piece in the puzzle when it comes to your singular network stack. All of your APX access points, for anyone that doesn't know about the Sophos networking stack, you've got your XGS firewalls, your next generation firewalls, you've got your access points, both indoor and outdoor, you've got your SD-REDs, remote tunneling from to remote offices and the branch, and you've basically got everything now inside a singular vendor. They have endpoint solutions and server solutions and encryption solutions and everything else, of course, in it, but we're just going to talk about networking for now. So it's a really great thing to see, simply because we're finally completing that piece in the puzzle where you can manage everything via Central, that cloud portal. And they've expanded their entire access portfolio now. They've got zero trust network access, which is, will replace VPNs later in the future for remote work. They've really covered everything that you need to save administrators their time when it comes to managing, the network and just giving that one singular pane of glass view. You've probably heard that before, but it is definitely the biggest strong point. So if we continue on now, we finally got the Sophos switches here. This is everything that you've been waiting for to complete that piece of the puzzle. People have told me that switches are like plumbing, but if you don't have plumbing, you're screwed. So now we've finally got it here. The 100 series switches are out, and there's 200 series switches coming out soon. The only difference is the 100 series switches have a 1 gigabit Ethernet. All the ports have 1 gigabit Ethernet connection, and the 200 series switches have 2.5 gigabit Ethernet connection. So if you're running Wi-Fi 6 access points, if you're looking to future-proof, if you're looking for that faster speed on every single one of your ports so you don't bottleneck, then that is the way to go on the 200 series devices. But if you don't need that right now and you're looking for a switch, and especially the singular network stack, 100 series switches is all for you now. I'm just going to really quickly roll out a poll, and will you be upgrading or future-proofing to Wi-Fi 6 access points anytime soon? Get that that crazy speed out there. Already use them, a lot of people. Oh, okay, not yet. Soon. There's lots of considerations out there in this space. I know that they have a lot of throughput, so that's super awesome to see. Not yet. Well, I do definitely consider, make sure everyone considers putting them onto your future plans, simply because, with NBN improving, I hope in the future, we're gonna see some good improvements with the speed right there. Okay, awesome. Well, 25% of people already use them, which is actually quite surprising. I'm going to close the poll right now and just share these things on screen with you now. So that's the interesting statistics inside of our webinar with Map Ready for People. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Well, let's go back to the slides real quick. In terms of SFP, if you're looking for SFP, you've got 2 ports on the 8 port models, the variants right there. Of course, every single switch model or variant is capable of PoE or not PoE, depending on what you need. So if you don't need PoE at all, there's an option for that. And of course, if you need PoE, there's an option for that. 4 SFP ports on the 100 series devices in the 24 port models and the 48 port models, and those support SFP plus as well. It's only standard SFP for the 8 port series devices. Okay, that's really about the only differences. So in terms of sizing the switches, the only thing you'll need to know is whether you want PoE or whether you don't need PoE, and of course how many ports you need. Make sure to consider the power budget. Of course, for all of your switch needs, the power budgets on the 8-port series devices are 110 watts, for example. And for the 48-port models, there's a half PoE or a mid PoE, if you want to call it, and a full PoE out there. And I'm just going to bring it up my laser pointer just so I can show you. Yeah, half PoE and full PoE, with the half PoE model coming in at about 410 watts. So make sure you get your calculations. The full PoE model, of course, 740 watts. You've got some COM ports, communication ports, for you to plug your RJ45 connectors into DB9, for example, just so you can get some console management. But we will be talking more about console management in the near future, so I won't steal Mr. Goodman's thunder. That's really about it for the switches. They're not the super most exciting part of it, but it completes a piece in the puzzle, and I'm really excited in order to give you information about them. In terms of PoE++, by the way, if anyone is looking for the 60-watt power output, it's only on the 200 series 8-port model up here. So that's 60 watt PoE++, for anyone who likes that standard. 802.3 BT. I can't believe I remembered that at the top of my head. But yeah, it's 802.3 AF, 803.2 AT. Anyway, that's about it. But yeah, that's the switches in a nutshell. If you're looking for a 3 to 4 minute version of what I said, there will be a YouTube video coming out, so watch out for that soon, and of course some giveaways as well. But let's continue onwards. Switch naming conventions is pretty easy. I'm not going to go way too much into this, but you can obviously see that if it's the central switch 100 series, if you need SFP or if you don't need SFP, how many ports you need. So if you're ever coming up for our quoting team or anything like that, and it depends, and you're reading it, you just look for the letters and the numbers, and you'll basically know what you're looking for. Just so I can quickly head on. The switch positioning is it's not for absolutely everyone in the market. That's already apparent because you've only got an 8-port, a 24, and a 48-port switch. So SMB users, 1 to 500 user organizations, retail offices, small branch offices, selling into a stack with any of your current Sophos customers, that is going to be where we want to see all the switches perform at their most. Okay, PoEs, sending PoE for APs, cameras, VoIP phones, all that kind of stuff for small to medium businesses. Excellent. But if you're looking for like Cisco or Juniper features, which or super high-end enterprise customers, this probably won't be the best point of it. So I don't want you to find that out in the future and just be like, hey, this doesn't support everything. It is definitely for those customers who want to consolidate everything into Sophos Central, so they can manage everything in one singular stack. They're growing, they're expanding, and they need that efficiency of management. So yeah, that single pane of glass. It doesn't have all of the super high-end capacity and the super high-end energy outputs that you would see in higher tier switches, but it's definitely for it definitely gets up there. We haven't seen the roadmap just yet for a lot of technical things, but they are coming real soon. So just to go onwards, the final piece in the puzzle, like I said once again, but the Sophos switches have limited lifetime warranty. Okay, they have a limited lifetime warranty which is return and replace support for their entire lifespan. If you launch a support ticket and the RMA team find a fault, they'll basically be like, okay, no worries, return that switch to us. And once we diagnose it and all that, we'll send out a unit back to you. But if you get the switch support and services package, then you will get all of the good stuff that you're looking for inside of such an advanced RMA support, phone support, firmware updates, and of course the most important thing, Sophos Central Management, which Mr. Matt Goodman will definitely walk us through in a little bit. Of course, if you don't have any of that, you can manage it via your local web management, your command line interfaces, and your SNMP. So that's always fine and dandy there. It's not as if you'll be missing out. Sophos Central will read the switch, it'll go into read-only mode, and you won't get firmware updates. But that's there. We've got a few questions already, so we might as well take a look at this, right, Matt? Reinstatement of Sophos Central Management available switches added support. Yes, if you purchase the Sophos support again, or rather, you renew it per se, then you will go right back into Sophos Central Management. So there's no problems there. It's just a continuation point of thing. Is there a model that have the same spec as the HP Aruba 29030F? Bruce, no, thank you for that question. Unfortunately, I'm not a super expert on a HP Aruba. We can get back to you. But Matt, do you know anything about comparisons between HP Aruba and the Sophos switches right now that we have?
Look, don't know any specific models, but these are access switches. They're 8-port, 24-port, and 48-port switches. So there's no sort of stacking or anything in the Sophos ones. It's all layer 2 sort of web managed. So it's without looking up the specific Aruba specs, they're sort of the main key features of the Sophos. So those advanced features, they're not going to be. That's not what the Sophos switches are for. So it's good to be very clear on what things are for and what things are not, so you don't get mucked around.
No, absolutely, Matt. Absolutely agree with that. Bruce, I'll come back to you. I'll look up your details after the webinar, and I'll get more of a comparison. We've got a few, comparison overviews and things there, that we can provide to you based on that competitive battle cards that Sophos have sent out. Either way, so look out for that. Ronnie Khalil says, for David, what changes would you like to see in the future generations of switches? I'd like to see maybe some more higher end switches come out, most likely stacking. For example, that Matt just mentioned, these switches don't stack, they're just layer 2, but I would like to see that sort of compatibility. Currently, Sophos Central already does a lot though, which Matt will walk you through. All the VLANs can be set up and all the templates can be rolled out pretty easily. So it's pretty good for what it is right now, and I'm very happy with it. But I'd just like to come back to the slide just for now while we've answered those few questions, and just let everyone know that if you are buying a switch, if you're a Sophos partner, and you are rolling out the single network stack, the services and support, the support and services package, like interchangeable really, they are available there. So I've got a quick poll to roll out actually, if I could just find it here. And if you are a Sophos customer, this won't apply to absolutely everyone, but I'm gonna put it out there. Will you be rolling out the full Sophos network stack with these switches? Let's see what we've got here. Oh, lots of considerations. That's good. I'll open up for a few more seconds just while I speak. But it is important. Support and services package, firmware updates, of course, most importantly, especially in the environment that we're in with all of the craziness going on, I'll say. All right, I'll just quickly close the poll right here. We've got lots of yeses, got lots of considerations, and a few people who said no. I would love to hear why, if you did say no, or if there are other considerations. It's good to see what the consensus is while we're currently here, and just help each other out. But yeah, that's how to buy the switches in terms of support, and like we said once again, in use cases in that kind of scenario, we've got SMBs. SD branch offices, remote offices, and retail franchises, which could be a good one. And once again, how to size it, for example, it's really simple. How many ports do you need? If you need PoE, if you don't need PoE, make sure you consider your power budget for any of my networking or sales newbies out there. So yeah, I think we've covered the preliminary info. I don't want to drown you out with slides, so let's get to some real world demo stuff where Matt Goodman, of course, is going to show us the central management portal and how easy it is for your system administrators just to set them up and get them going. But I would like to remind everyone once again that if you don't get Sophos Central, you can just manage these switches via your local web management, your CLI, your command line interface, and of course your simple network management protocol, just like any other switch. So that is freely available. You don't need to get the Sophos Central management, but you should. Yeah, that's really about it on my side. I've taken up 25 minutes of the time, so I'm going to pass it over to Matt right now and go from there.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for running us through all those. Let's bring up the demo. So what we're going to show today, and what I'm going to demonstrate or look at, is the three different consoles. So you've got the command line console, you've got the web interface, and then you've also got the Sophos Central platform. So what we're looking at here right away is the actual web interface of the Sophos unit. So when we log into the unit, there's a great dashboard that shows us what's going on with the unit, what's its IP address, what's its serial number, what VLANs we've got configured. So a real brief look at what's there. When you first get the switches, you can either plug them into DHCP and they're going to pull up an address on your network, or they're going to be they got a default IP address, which is all in the getting started guides. I'll keep this high level, won't go into too much technical. It's just a quick overview. So we drop down this little port up the top here. We can actually see what's happening in the ports. So it's really clear to see, okay, we've got some 10 gig, 100 gig ports that are active, so devices plugged into them. We've got some PoE devices down on the right-hand side, yeah, really easy to see. We've got the SFP ports in there as well on the right there. And clicking through all the different stats, we've got things on the CPUs, the memory, what's happening on the device, see if it's overloaded or overutilized. We'll get some statistics, so these will be port statistics that are happening. So this is showing us the transmit and receive data on the ports of what's going on. We can also look at some other things like some of the L3 traffic, so the DHCP snooping, security as well. Let's go into the configuration area. Switches, like David says, they're just plumbing. They're sort of a necessary thing that we need to have in networks to connect all our devices together. And you're going to come in here to set it up probably once, and then just sort of make a few adds, moves, and changes over its lifetime. Probably the key things you're going to look at here are going to be the power budget. So you want to make sure you got the power budget there and you're abiding by it. The VLAN settings, so whether you're setting up an access port or a trunk port or other sort of port, that's what you would want to do. And it's really simple to add that. So we just click add, we choose the VLAN ID, we create it, and then we can go in here and actually edit it. We can then go and choose which ports we want to include. And it's all just simple clicking, easy, really easy to do. So it's Sophos, like everything they do, want to make it really easy to use. Let's have a look at some of the logging. So you've got local logging or you've got remote logging. So this is all in the switch here. Not much happening on this particular one. All your diagnostics tools, so ping test, trace route. There's some cable diagnostics, so you can look at the length of cable. And then we've got all our security, so port security, denial of service settings there as well, and some access information for whether the web and the CLI, where you want to lock that down, do you want to add some users, all that sort of stuff's there. So that's the web interface. Let me go and show you the live CLI interface. So I've logged into the interface here, and if you're familiar with Cisco, Juniper, all those sort of ones, it's pretty easy to configure. I'm just going to configure a VLAN here, so I'm just going to go in and do a configure terminal, or conf T if you want to use the shorthand. I'm going to do a VLAN 30. I want to create that, and now I'm in configuring VLAN 30. I'm going to do ports, give it a name, and call this what we're doing today. We'll go to security. So that's configured that, and then we're going to add the actual ports in there. So we'll do that 16. So we've added all that there. So I'm just going to do some exiting, and then we'll just show VLAN, and it's just going to show us the VLANs that we've created. And you can see that there down the bottom, we've got the VLAN that we've created. So if you're a CLI kind of person, you can do management of the Sophos switches via the CLI. I'm not going to go in too much more. There's a whole heap of commands and a whole heap of documentation you can use as well. All right, let's go have a look at Sophos Central. So if you've got any questions about this, about the interfaces and what can be done or not, put it into the chat. And ask me, and we'll answer those at the end. Here we've got the Sophos Central switch config. So the Sophos Central management is let's call it version 1, might be version 0.0 and 0.9. It's definitely a work in progress. So there's functions you can do in Sophos Central, but there's a whole heap more functions you can do on the actual switch, and that's going to be growing as time goes on. So to add a switch in here, what we do is we just click add switch, we paste in the serial number, and then the switch will, when it gets internet access, it's going to contact Sophos Central and then start syncing across. The way the configurations work is it's a sort of a top-down. So Sophos Central will override the web interface. The web interface will override Sophos Central is the master. Sophos Central, then there's site configurations, which will override the general Sophos Central switch configurations, and then it'll be actual config on the actual switch itself. So something you got to remember if you are making changes, it can override things on a lower tier, or you can override Sophos Central on the actual switch as well and revert it back. So let's go in and actually look at it. So here we have the switch. So logged into this particular switch, it's the exact same one that we're looking at there before, and we can see the port configuration window very, very similar. We can see the power budget configuration that's there as well, and very simple config for, at the moment, it's just for a simple configuration of VLANs. So I've pushed out some VLANs from, you can see the config that I had on the switch is not represented in Sophos Central because I did it on the actual switch. But I can go here and add a new VLAN, do VLAN 40, call it the IoT devices. We're going to pick which tag ports. We're going to pick port 16. And we can go ahead and save, and you can see it's going to pop up. The switch is going to create a VLAN, push a task to the device, and it will override any config you've already got on the switches there as well. So that's something to keep in mind. So that's pushed out. I'll go to the task queue here, and we can see that the task queue is pending. So there's a task there that's for the VLAN creation that's syncing, and we're just waiting for that to come across. I'll force that to happen super quickly. All right, so that's all done. So we've got the VLAN there. Just going to go back to the switch, which has logged itself out like a good something good in a demo. So we'll go configure VLAN. And we can see we've got that VLAN there that we created, the IoT VLAN, which has been pushed down from Sophos Central. So just remember that hierarchy as you do things, that the Sophos Central will override anything local. Port configuration as well, so you can go ahead and adjust the ports. It's quite basic at the moment, as you can see, and we'll go more advanced as we get deeper into the product. I'll hand back to you, Dave.
Thanks, Matt. Damn, that was easy. Central switch management. Honestly, like probably one of the easiest things you can come up and show into a customer, especially if the demo as quick as that. But yeah, look, that's about it. Look at that trivia right there. That's gonna come up real soon. Not just yet though. So let me switch back the presenter to me. And I'm going to show something real quick, and I'm going to try to, there we go. We found a workaround. GoToWebinar wouldn't let us do the webcam, but I'm going to unbox something for you anyway using the camera app that's sharing my screen. There we go. This was supposed to be the camera angle you guys were supposed to see, and of course us, but GoToWebinar is not playing nice. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to give it to you. I'm going to show you an unboxing of a 24-port switch right now, just so you can see what's inside the box, what do you get, and how things go along. Just really quickly, because it's better. What's better than seeing the actual product yourselves instead of on a screen, right? Can you see everything, Matt? Everything's pretty good to go.
Yes.
Sure is. Great, we can get this going.
Wonderful. Great. Well, we've got two manuals here, the quick start guide and of course your warranty. So just gonna go along with that. That's pretty easy. The switch console itself, but I'm not going to show you just yet. You get some accessories inside of that. We'll get through the goodie bag first, maybe. Of course, your power cable, your PSU is already inside of the Sophos Switch. You get some rubber feet, your RJ45 to DB9 connector, and a rack mount ears. So good for rack mounting on the 24-port model. So, goodie box out of the way. Let's finally show the goods. It's a heavy boy, I'm not going to lie to you guys. What I'm just going to do is get the foam off of it. It's going everywhere on camera now, but there you go. Right in the hands, 4 SFP plus ports on the side right there. The lighting's a little bit fuzzy there, but you got 24 ports, especially on this side. And of course, your COM interface right there. A bit lagging, a bit janky, but we've got the LEDs for the PoE power, fault, PoE max in the case that you've exceeded it, and of course your LAN mode and PoE switches to change the LEDs on the left and right hand side there. So lots of indicators. Of course, on the back, we've got the good old power port and the 2 fan vents. So good stuff there. And of course, on the sides, your rack mounting screw holes for your ears, and a few more vents, of course. On the bottom, you got your good old serial numbers and whatnot there. So yeah, awesome things to see. Support for up to 256 VLANs for all of the switches, so plenty to go around, and switching capacities for this particular model, I believe, is 128 gigabytes. So yeah, 24 port there. 8 ports are right next to me, but that's okay. It's basically just an 8-port switch, and everyone's probably seen that. So yeah, there it is.
One thing before you put it down and put it away, the default password for the switches. So instead of having this is something that Sophos is doing different. A lot of the time switches are admin and password or admin, that sort of thing. On the Sophos boxes, they've all been set by the factory to something unique. So Dave, if you flip around to the back there, right in the middle, there's a little barcode in there. That is the default password.
Awesome.
So that's the.
No, thanks, Matt. Good to know. Yeah. And there you go, a 24-port switch.
Makes it nice and easy, quick to configure, and secure as well out of the box. So there's no default credentials sitting around on networks.
Nice, 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 nice. That's a heavy boy. If anyone wants to see the 48 or the 8-port switch, please say so in the chat. I mean, I've got them right in front of me here. So, you know, I'm more than welcome to unbox one of those. So they should have supplied an RJ45 to USB cable, says Wei. Yeah, I kind of know what you mean. But, you know, hey, it's the classic. It's the classic switch console. What can you do? Well, now it's time for Q&A, and while I've got the screen in front of me and, you know, this kind of camera angle, if anyone wants to ask any questions, and while we address any questions, I'm more than happy to. But I will just get the PowerPoint going. Matt, did you want to take a look at the questions just while I get these things on with?
Having a look
Awesome,
at some
awesome.
of the questions there. So yeah, look, I think one of the question there is, for the small and mid market, that's where Sophos is going to sit. That's where this switch is aimed at. Comparing to switches, say Unify and those that have central management without subscriptions, with Sophos, one of the differences you get is warranty. So with those subscription central management, you get the warranty in there as well. And you get to integrate it with the Sophos ecosystem. So as time goes on, the Sophos Central integrations will be more. So there'll be things like Synchronized Security coming. They're all little things, but they all make a difference. And sometimes the advanced replacement warranty can be a real saver, rather than having to fork out for another switch when the warranty ends. In terms of configurations and backup, at the moment in Sophos Central, there's no sort of backup that's there. It's something that is coming. So that's something that will be added down the line, but you can back it up on the device, and there's some automated backup options there as well. Let's have a look at some other questions. Yep, the old serial comms there. In terms of buying it, yes, you do need to identify the end user, as well as when you buy a switch. That's just something that you do.
With Chris asked a question, I came in late, sorry. Has pricing been discussed? Not yet, Chris. Usually pricing is different at every single partner level. So, do feel free to reach out to us on Sophos Quotes at bluechipit.com.au in the case that you need to get one of those. It's always good in order to keep them specific to each partner level. We don't want you to be quoting the wrong thing. But back to you, Matt.
Having a look, see if there's any other questions there that we can jump out and answer. So looks all pretty basic, and we've probably answered most of those already. So probably onto the trivia, I think. Yeah.
Oh, Charlotte's got a good point there. Are there NFR discounts and whatnot? So yes, there are NFR discounts for all Sophos partners. If you're a Sophos partner, you get 50% off the RRP price. And do resellers have to identify as the end user as they do with firewalls? So usually yes, if we're licensing switches, especially for the support and services, it is a requirement from Sophos. However, if you're doing MSP, if you're buying for MSP sort of things, we will check in with that as well. I'm quite sure that you as a reseller or a partner can put it underneath yourselves to on-sell inside of your services and support portfolio. But yeah, look, that's about it for the Q&A. I want to get some cool trivia things going on. Let's have some fun, guys, because it's about what's the time now? It's about 11:45, and we're trying to give out some prizes. We're trying to get the fun stuff happening. We got Apple AirPods for anyone who wins the top place inside of the trivia, and of course $20 Amazon gift vouchers for all the 5 runners up after. So if your place is 2 to 6, guess inside of the trivia that's oncoming rather, then you'll be able to win as well. So there are lots of winners today, and of course the lucky draw at the end. So make sure to stay for that. Matt, do you wanna throw up the trivia real quick so we can all join in and have some fun, especially at 11:45, closer to lunchtime.
Let's bring this up here. So everyone, grab out your phone, or you can do it on your computer. We've got the trivia game. Just scan the QR code. It's going to launch the CrowdPer interface, and enter the code 72R0 ROA or R0A. It's looks like an O there actually. So one thing to yeah, they should, always a tough one. We'll do is we'll wait for a few people to join, and just enter your name and your first initial. Get a few in there. So we've got 16 players registered.
Last time, Matt, do you remember we had a guy named Harry Wombat? So and we had a little bit of struggle trying to identify the main prize winner of these Apple AirPods. So make sure you put in your name, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there, because we're gonna need to see who the winner is. And if you do win some Apple AirPods, some pretty good stuff, if I do say so myself, and make sure to let us know so we can identify you. But either way, we'll wait a few more minutes just to make sure everyone's in. If you haven't joined yet, you miss out. And I love trivia.
All right, so we've got 28 players coming in. We'll do 10 more seconds and we'll get it going. All right, let's get it happening.
Awesome. Good luck, everyone. Good luck. If you've been listening, yeah, you'll definitely see some questions that you would know. Let's do it, Matt. I can't wait to see who's going to win some Apple AirPods.
Start the countdown here, and yeah, it's multiple choice, and fastest time gets the most points. What are the two primary considerations when selecting a Sophos Switch model?
I think it's color, Matt. It's a good aesthetic. It's a good white.
So you've got to have the Ferrari red. All right, so let's have a look at the correct answer was the number of ports required and the PoE power budget. Let's have a look where everyone answered. Great. Some people had the throughput and the number of users. That was a throw in there from more firewall sizing is about the throughput and the end users. All right, let's see who's got the fastest. So we've got Daniel, Ash, and Nat sitting on the top there.
Nice, good work, Daniel P. Ash T only is 7 points behind. That's going to be pretty cool. Let's see what we got next.
Let's go to the next question. Question 2. In the Sophos range switches, what includes what models with what ports? Is it 10, 24, 50, 5, 15, 60, 7, 24, 49, 8, 24, 48?
So many numbers on screen, Matt.
What's the numbers? All right, so let's have a look at the correct answer. So it's 8, 24, and 48. They're the main sizing of the main key port numbers that you worry about. There's of course SFP and other things there as well. All right, let's go on to the next question. Question 3. What is one feature you get with the support and services package?
A new car. I want a Tesla. Hey, who's one of these people inside of the questions? Ronnie Khalil, can you get me a new Tesla, please, sir? I know who you are.
All right, let's have a look at the correct answers there. Sophos Central Management. Let's have a look at some of the answers. So yeah, Sophos Central Management being the key thing you get with the service and support. You do get advanced replacement warranty, but every switch has that limited lifetime warranty, which means that once Sophos declare it end of life, it's 5 years after that end of life period.
Which is a long time.
That's it. Let's have a look at the leaderboards. So we've got Daniel, Ash, and Chris there. at the top. All right. Let's go to question 4.
Nice job, guys. Nice job.
What makes the 200 series different?
This one's a tricky one, isn't it, Matt? If you're paying attention in the beginning.
See it
Ooh,
where you're paying attention. So correct answer is the 2.5 gigabits ports. So the SFPs are available on the other models, the SFP pluses, but the specific difference between the two series is the 2.5 gigahertz at this stage. And we have here Ash, Daniel leading or equal. You guys, you got to be quick on the fingers to someone's got to jump ahead, and Greg on third. All right, let's jump to the next question.
equal first. Ooh, it's good
All
to
Sophos
see.
switches support PoE, PoE plus, and PoE plus plus. Is that true or is that false?
50-50 chance here, guys, if you're guessing. Oh, look at that. The PoE++ is only on the 200 series 8-port models, so good to see some people listening. Super glad. Look at that. Let's see what's on the leaderboard, Matt.
There we go. Ash, way to go. Daniel, tough one. All right, let's
way to go.
Last question here, question 6. The CS101-8 8-port switch comes with 8 ports plus.
Well, this one's a tough one, isn't it, Matt?
Tough there. All right, let's have a look at the correct answer. So, and it has no correct answers. Hold on, let me just fix that up there. There we go. So yeah, the 2 1 gig SFP ports. So there we go. So yeah, all the models have some sort of SFP. So that the 8, 24, and the 48 are the main ports, and those SFPs add-ons there. As you go up the switches, you get SFP plus and 10 gig, and of course the 2.4s are on the 200 series. Let's have a look at the final leaderboard here. So we've got Ash, way to go, and Patrick.
Congratulations, guys. And Ash T, especially the major prize winner for today. Some Apple AirPods are all yours. If you wanted to say a quick hi in the chat, we'll get your details after this. But anyone in second all the way to 6th place, you guys have won a $20 Amazon gift card voucher as well. So look at that. Some winners today. Congratulations, Ash T, once again. And I hope everyone has learned something. That's so cool. There we go. Ashley Tiak, thank you for putting yourself out there. But yeah, that was cool. That was awesome, wasn't it, Matt? Got some trivia going on.
No, definitely good. We want to build the knowledge of the switches. They really are simple. It's it's the number of ports, the number of PoE, and then some accessories. What the SFPs and things like that are. Yeah, it's something new for Sophos, so definitely want to get the knowledge out there. I've got a question that's come in, Dave, and I'll just run through it. So what are the RRP prices of the switches? So what I'll do is basically starting off in the lower switch range, we sort of got the smaller switch being the 8-port switch. Starts off at, let me just bring this up on the screen for everyone to see. So we've got the CS101-8, that's 318 RRP. We have the CS101-8 with -8-FP, so it's got the power over Ethernet, that's 480.
Yep, that's the full PoE model right there. Yep.
Full PoE model. So the non-PoE 24-port is 696. The 24-port with PoE full power 1320. The 48-port non-PoE is 1290. The 48-port with half PoE budget is 1800, and then the 48 port with full power budgets 2514, and then the 200 Series 8 port is 1350-ish there, and the other 200 series ports will come later on. So there, and then some of the support pricing there in there as well. So something to keep in mind. They're reasonably priced, definitely in the lower end of scale. They're not $3,000 or $4,000 as some other switches can be. So I'll hand it back to you, Dave, for your slides.
No, thanks, Matt. No, that's good. That was taking a look at the price list, guys. For everyone who hasn't seen that before, that's the reseller price list from Sophos, and of course, talk to our team over at Sophos at bluechipit.com.au, and of course, quotes Sophos at quotes at bluechipit.com.au. I almost forgot my own inboxes there, in order to get some references for that and also some quotes. But yeah, that's trivia time. Now it's time for the lucky draw. In order to end us on, we've got 5 minutes to go, so let's celebrate someone who's going to win an Apple Watch Series 3. I'm so excited. If you've stuck out to the end of this, thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and we're going to give someone a chance in order to win one of these. I hope you learned something, but for now, can you see my screen, Matt, with the spinny wheel, the lucky draw right here?
We've got the screen spinning around there.
Awesome, guys. All right, I'm going to do a countdown real quick. And 3, 2, 1, who's going to win an Apple Watch Series 3? Let's see who it is. Oh, it's going to be close. Who could it be? David W. It looks like it's David W. Call out in the chat if there's a David W. right now. We need you in order to claim your prize.
It's not you, David, is it? Did you?
Oh, no, it's not me. I'm a David N.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. David Woodham. Sweet, awesome. We've got a sweet inside of the chat there. So David W. or David Woodham. David, congratulations. It's not me, guys. I'm not typing something else on another laptop just to get this Apple Watch from you guys. It is David Woodham. So yeah, look at that. We've got Apple AirPods, Apple Watches coming out to these guys here, and of course Amazon gift card vouchers to those runner-ups in the trivia. I hope you learned something, everyone. I think that's about all that we have here in store. If you have any other questions, you can pop them through to us offline, or of course here if you really have any last minute ones. But yeah, I'm super stoked. What do you think, Matt?
I think it's a exciting time for Sophos to add something extra in their range, and switches really extend from the endpoint, which they got the endpoint software, the access points, and that switch thing is just in between, which wasn't there. So really is that full stack. Got no more questions coming in on the question line. So I think we've hopefully we've answered everyone's questions. If you do want to get an evaluation unit, please reach out to us, Sophos at bluechipit.com.au, and we can get you an eval unit to try out, and or you can just buy an NFR unit at 50% off if you are a partner. So thanks, Dave.
Awesome. No, thank you, Matt. And thank you, everyone. Remember, the full network stack is out now with Sophos. I'll see you guys all next time.